Have you ever wondered about the ancient African, Indian, Southeast Asian and even Chinese artifacts and antiques in the lavish Western museums? It's a well-known fact by now that majority of them are looted treasures. But now there are increasing calls and demands that these treasures that represent not only culture but also the history of their homes be returned to their rightful owners. Oxford University has recently agreed to return a 500-year-old bronze idol stolen from a Tamil Nadu temple to India after a formal request from the Indian government. Back in the colonial era, European countries not only seized control of the lands but also looted numerous cultural treasures. The European colonists were particularly notorious for these actions. From ancient statues, sacred relics and epic manuscripts, these items were either stolen or taken away under shady circumstances. From 16th to 20th century, the Britishers went on a colonization spree, nation after nation, and stole almost 8 million artifacts. Yes, you have heard that right. And most prominent is India's Kohinoor diamond and decapitated dried Maori heads. The wealth of many of the rich Western nations has largely been built on the extraction of resources from the global south since the colonial era. This exploitation has created a systematic inequities and left these countries to bear the negative consequences. It is now time for these resources and artifacts to be returned to their original homes. The return of these bronze idols marks the steps towards justice, but countless artifacts remain displaced. Every artifact tells a story. These stories deserve to be told and told from where they began. Throughout history, countless cultural artifacts have been plundered during wars, colonization and illicit trade as well, which has resulted in ongoing disputes over their rightful ownership. Regions from Asia and Africa to South America have all fallen prey to the looting of their cultural treasures. The Kohinoor, meaning mountain of light, is one of the world's largest cut diamonds. After the British annexation of India in 1849, the diamond was given to Queen Victoria as a gift. It is now part of British crown jewels on display at the towers of London's Jewel House. But from where this gift was given and who was the owner of this Kohinoor diamond has not been taken into account. Similarly, the Tipu's tiger, a nearly life-size wooden automaton depicting a tiger mauling a British soldier, was created for Tipu Sultan of Mysore. However, it was captured by the British forces in 1799 after Tipu's defeat. It is now displayed at the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. There are several such instances of such priceless artifacts and antiques being stolen or being looted and being kept at the museums in Americas and Europe. Located in modern-day Nigeria, Benin bronzes were looted in 1897, about 150 years back, when British troops invaded the Benin Empire. 2 of the many pieces have been returned, while the rest being on display in American and European museums. Acquired by Germany in 1913 from Egypt, the Nefertiti bust and Rosetta Stone, this 3,400-year-old statue remains a major attraction at the Berlin's Neues Museum. During the 1868 British expedition to Magdala, numerous Ethiopian cultural treasures, including manuscripts and a golden crown, were looted as well. These items are now scattered across British institutions. Cambodian artifacts were widely looted as well, often trafficked by dealers. Many have been recovered, while some still awaiting to be returned. In 2003, as soon as 20 years back, during the Iraq War, thousands of artifacts were stolen from the National Museum of Iraq. The looting represents a devastating loss to Iraq's cultural heritage. And the list goes on and on. These cases underscore the complex, contentious nature of cultural heritage, sparking heated debates over rightful ownership and the repatriation of artifacts that have been taken during historic conflicts and colonial periods. With every artifact returned, we take a step towards justice and honoring the rich histories and cultures from which they were taken. The time for restitution is now, and the demands for restitution of these historical artifacts and antiques growing, and the world must listen to the voice of reason and the voice of the global south. The giant African snail is highly sought after in many parts